Right, are we live? We are live on YouTube. And in just a moment, we'll also be live on TikTok. Just put the message out. There we go. Go live. And there we go. Get the chat popped out. Stick it over there. And we're good to go. Okay, welcome aboard everybody. Sorry for the delay. Just, there we go. Everybody's arriving now. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Trucking Tuesday. How's everyone doing? Sorry we're starting a little bit late today, everybody. I'll tell you more about it later. We are an hour behind schedule. But we're here now. I don't know if the stream's going to run over to make up for it. I'm not 100% sure. But we are an hour late, so I'm not going to waste any time. We're just going to dive straight back into it. So we're back in Euro Truck. If this is your first time joining, welcome. This is Trucking Tuesday, the series where I play Euro Truck Simulator. You can see I've got my whole cab set up here. We've got all the steering wheel and gear shifter and everything else. And we've got the head tracker active again today, so I can look around the cab without using the thumbsticks. And we are currently in Algeria, where we arrived at the end of the last stream. We did a job from... Was it... whereabouts was it? It was somewhere in Northern Ireland, I believe. It was from Lisbon. We did a job last week from Lisbon to Borjbou Arridge, which is where we are now. But today I want to head in... I want to head east. I want to explore some of the more eastern parts of the map that we haven't finished yet. I'd love to eventually visit North and South Korea and some of the more East Asian countries as well. So that's what we're going to try and do today. We're going to try and get some jobs that will take us in that direction. Let's see what we can get first of all. Where are you from, Saul, says Danny? I am from Doncaster in South Yorkshire, Danny. Okay, it'll take a second for the map to load. Again, if this is your first time joining as well, by the way, I've got about 200 mods, so the map is very, very expansive compared to the base game. Okay, let's see what we can do. Nope. Nope. That seems like a good job. Shock absorbers to Turkey. That's going to head in the eastern direction. It is going to take us right through the crash zone, though. The game tends to crash a lot in the area around the border between Austria and Croatia. So it's a bit risky. We might experience some crashes, but I think that's going to be... That's a good job. It's going to get us out in that direction. Everything else seems to be... that one might be a bit too far. And that one's south. Yeah, we'll go for that. We'll go for the shock absorbers. 16 tons of shock absorbers to Ferizli in Turkey. 162 grand. But it's quite a drive, so let's get straight into it, shall we? Oh, I don't even have my keys in. Thanks for following, Caden, by the way. Do you do content creation full-time, says Danny? Not full-time, Danny. I do 3 streams a week for 3 hours at a time. I've crashed immediately. We've already hit that that Volvo there. Whoops. I do 3 streams a week, and I also do videos as well. Not as many as I'd like. I wanna focus a bit more on videos in future, because we've been lacking on videos a bit recently. Although, having said that, you know, I did upload a half-hour video of my trip to the Peak District this month, and a discussion video at the end of last month. So actually, we've not been doing too badly on the video front. But I do have quite a lot planned still. Hey Saul, hope you're having a great Tuesday. Thanks Lee, I'm doing very well. How are you doing? Yes, like I say, sorry we're starting a little bit late today. Well, I say a little bit late. We're an hour late. How old are you? I'm 26, Ollie. Why are the graphics so low, says Harriet? The graphics aren't low, Harriet. The graphics are on high. It could just be the quality of the stream, you know, compressing it. In fact, not only are the graphics on high, I've also got a few 4K texture patches as well, so on my end it looks really good. It just might not come across very well on stream because of my bad internet. What do you play on? I play on PC, Elijah. Okay, here we go. Does that mean you're going to finish an hour late? Says Draydog. I don't know, Draydog. We'll see. I'm not going to make any promises. I don't want to overrun as much as we did last week, because we really badly were over. We were like 45 minutes over last week, and I know we have started an hour late today, which is going to unfortunately mean we probably will overrun again today, but hopefully not by as much. What GPU do you have? Says Finn. I have an RTX 2070, Finn. Thanks for following, Reese Parker. Hello, Edmonds. Your name's on the boards. Welcome. Thank you for being the newest member of my Patreon, Edmonds. And also, can I just say, the board is looking pretty full right now. We got 8 supporters over on Patreon now. That's like doubled in the last couple of weeks. Like literally, if you look at the Peak District video that I posted at the start of the month, there's only 4 people in the credits. There's 8 people on the board now, so we're doing really good. And it's very much appreciated, everyone. Okay, here we go. Stop the truck. And start loading. What do you play on? I'm on PC, Sean. And off we go. Okay, before we move though, we have only got 500 miles of fuel left, and I need to sleep in 7 hours, so let's go ahead and mark some rest points on first of all. I mean, we can sleep on the ferry to Marseille, so that's not too urgent. And it's only 100 miles to Algiers, so I think we can probably refill once we get to France. We could probably make it to this service station here, just between Marseille and Nice. I think that's what we'll aim for. Thanks for following, CBB. That's a lot of Bs. Thank you for following. Thanks for following HT as well. We'll stay in third till we get out of the yard. Is this game on PS5? Says Sean. Unfortunately not, Sean. Euro Truck 2 is only on PC. You can get the original Euro Truck on some consoles, but it's not the same game. It's a much older game, and it shows its age. And I also don't know if it's on the newest series of consoles. But if you want Euro Truck Simulator 2, which is this one, you will need to have a PC. How much was that one? I've no idea how much the first one costs. This one costs £13.50 if you do have a PC. Is the map to scale? The map's not to scale, full stop. The scale is about 1 to 19. Apart from the UK, which is actually at a scale of 1 to 15. For some reason, the UK is a different scale to the rest of Europe in this game. So the UK feels a bit bigger than it should. But most of the map is 1 to 19. Oh, why are we losing power there? Probably because I was going up a steep incline in 9th gear. Come on, someone let me in. There we go, I'll go now. Sorry for being late, says King of BPL. I started late, King of BPL, so don't worry. I only started at 4 o'clock, so we've only been live for 10 minutes. I'm going to shift over again. Go. I'm going. There we go. Is it just me or is your game quite laggy? Says Ob. It is because the head tracker, Ob. The head tracker does cause the game to lag a bit more than usual. But I think it's a worthwhile trade-off. I do think it just makes the game so much more fun to play with the head tracker. But it does mean there's a bit more stuttering than there would be if I was playing without the head tracker. So I apologise. There will be some stuttering. Hey Ginger, says King of BPL. There's Ginger. There he is, taking a nap on the dash, as usual. I'm off to the Lake District at the end of August, and I cannot wait as I live in Kent. Nice one, Edmonds. I think you'll love it. I've never actually been to the Lake District, so I don't know, but from what I hear, it's very good. Oh, I should be in 12th here, by the way. What kind of monitor do you have? So my main monitor, Sean, is actually a smart TV. The monitor that I'm using right now to play the game is actually a smart TV, so it's not a proper monitor, but it's got a 60Hz refresh rate, so it's not too bad. And it's 32-inch, so it's quite big as well. I wanted quite a big screen so that I could play simulator games on it, you know, because I think with simulator games like Farming Sim and Euro Truck, the bigger the screen, the better, because it feels more like you're actually in the cab, you know. How much did the head tracker cost, says Adam? The head tracker was absolutely free, Adam. So I'm using software called OpenTrack. It's completely free. All you need is a webcam. So if you've got a spare webcam lying around, you can download the software for free, and it uses the webcam as a head tracker. It's really good. I highly recommend it. Sorry, I just need to deal with something. There we go. But yeah, the software is completely free. It's called OpenTrack. You don't need any other software. Like I say, you do need a webcam because it works off of a webcam. But if you've got a webcam lying around and you don't want to buy expensive software or hardware for head tracking, just search up OpenTrack. Completely free. Really, really good software. How old were you when you transitioned, says Alex? I came out in 2021, Alex, so I would have been 22 at the time. That was just over 4 years ago now. May I ask what gender you like, says DVS Photography. I'm not fussy when it comes to gender. I would say that I prefer women, but I don't really have a preference. Well, I do have a preference. I prefer women, but you know, men are all right as well, I guess. Okay, looks like we're going to be on this motorway for a bit, so I'll stick the cruise control on. Save keeping my foot on the pedal. And in case anyone's wondering, I do have pedals. I've got brake and accelerate. No clutch pedal, unfortunately, at the minute. Fortunately, you don't need a clutch pedal to use the gear shifter with Euro Truck. You can have automatic clutch. But I don't have a clutch pedal at the minute. I would like to get one, but not right now. Oh, hang on. This hill's a bit steeper than I thought it was. Should I go down further? Hi Dagger, how are you doing? Okay, we're good. Do you drive in real life? I don't drive in real life, Chris, no. How are you, says Max Beard. I'm good, Max. How are you doing? Where are we, by the way? Okay, we're just coming up on Algiers, so we'll be crossing over, getting the ferry to France very shortly, and then once we're in France, we can refuel. Is that a Scania V8? It is, Chris. It's the Scania Streamline R730. Brilliant truck. One of my absolute favourites. I love Scania. Okay, we're doing 85 right now, apparently. The speed limit's only 56, so if we have an accident, that's why. Why don't you drive IRL, says HM. I just don't really want to, HM. It's not something that I really feel I need to do. I live in an area with pretty decent public transport links, and there's just not really any reason for me to have a car. I feel like it'd just be a waste of money when, like I say, I can get anywhere that I need to go with public transport. Thanks for following Jeffrey and Lucas. Okay, here's Algiers. Thanks for following Chris. You remind me of Sheldon Cooper, says Leben. Believe me, Leben, you are not the first person to tell me that. I've been told that for the last 15 years of my life. I'm not mad about it. Ash, when did you become a lady? Says JP. I came out in 2021, JP. July 2021, actually, so exactly 4 years ago. Speed up, says would you rather. I can't really speed up right here because we're getting towards the city now. The traffic's getting heavier and the roads are getting a bit more windy. How's life treating you? Did you go Pride, says JP. I don't think Doncaster Pride has happened yet. I think it's in August. But I would like to go. I've never actually been to Pride before. But I'd like to go for the first time this year if someone will go with me. So, thinking of asking my sister. But that's in, I think, the first week of August, so not too far away. Yeah, I definitely can't be speeding around too much here because the road's really uneven as well, really bumpy. Oh, you're from Donny? I liked it there. It's improved a lot, says John's lovely face. It has, yeah, honestly. I've lived in Doncaster all my life. It's not been doing too badly in the last few years. It's not perfect, you know, but where is? I think it's definitely getting better. Okay, here we are. We're at the port. About to cross over to France. Should probably be in the left lane here. Ooh. Nearly. What hardware's doing the head tracking? It's actually all software based, John. So it's software called OpenTrack, which works off a webcam. I've got a spare webcam because last year I upgraded my webcam and I decided to keep my old one just in case I needed it for anything. And as it turns out, you can use your webcam as a head tracker with OpenTrack. So that's what I'm doing right now. I've got my main webcam there, which obviously is looking at me for the stream, and I've got another webcam on top of my monitor, which is tracking my head movements. Really great software, and it's completely free. So again, if you've got a spare webcam and you want to do head tracking, just search OpenTrack. It's completely free. Really great bit of kit. Okay, and off we go to Marseille. 12 hours, 30 minutes. £300. Lovely. Alright, where are you going on your route, says Aiden. We're heading to Turkey at the minute, Aiden. We're going up and over across Europe to Turkey. Pro mods, yes, pro mods add lots of other stuff as well. You can see there's quite a lot of North Africa there. I've got about 200 mods in the pack, but pro mods is sort of the core of it. I'm looking to get in the Hori truck control system, said Edmonds. I think you mentioned that last week, Edmonds, yeah. It does look really good. I think the panel in particular, the gear shifter and control panel, looks really amazing. The only thing is, I've got a gear shifter and it's almost brand new. Like, I only bought this like 6-8 months ago, so I really don't want to upgrade and get a new gear shifter so soon, you know what I mean? But it does look really good. It is brand new as well, though, so what I might do is wait a couple of years till it starts to come down in price a bit and then get one a bit cheaper a couple of years down the line. Like I say, I just don't really want to be spending 600 quid for a new steering wheel and gear shifter when I've only just bought this gear shifter, you know? Have you tried to play this game with a VR headset? Is that possible, said John? It is possible, yes. I don't actually have a VR headset, but I have been thinking about getting one so that I could play some simulator games with it. You can buy them quite cheap on eBay. You know, I've seen people selling them for like 50 quid on eBay for a MetaQuest 2. It doesn't need to be an expensive one, you know. It doesn't need to be top of the range. It doesn't even need to have the controllers. It literally just needs to be the headset itself, because obviously I've got all the truck controls here. But yeah, definitely I would like to play this game in VR. It'd be interesting to experience, for sure. Okay. Do you have a head tracker? Or eye tracker, says Luke. I've got a head tracker, Luke, yeah. As you can see, I'm looking around the cab right now. Oh, is he letting me go? He's letting me go. What a nice man. Never mind, he just fucking rammed into me. Oh, never mind, that was someone else. Okay. I apparently didn't look both ways enough times. But yes, Luke, I do have a head tracker. It's called OpenTrack. It's completely software-based, so it works off a webcam. That's a bit expensive. I might have to do it over 3 months, says Edmonds. Yeah, honestly, that's what I do whenever I make a big purchase. You know, get on PayPal, pay in 3 or Klarna, I don't feel as guilty spending £300 if it's in 3 £100 installments, you know, rather than all at once. But yeah, the Hori truck wheel, I think it's like 600 quid, like 599. Or it was last I checked. It might have even come down already. I've got all the DLCs, so do I download one file from ProMods? Yeah, if you go to the ProMods website, it'll tell you everything you need to know to install ProMods. It's very easy to do. It's got a step-by-step guide there for you. And I definitely recommend it if you want to play Euro Truck with mods and you don't know where to start. ProMods is a great place to start. Has your name on your passport been changed and your gender, says Danny. Not yet, Danny. I have an outstanding passport application, so like I'm waiting on my new passport right now. But yes, I have applied for my new passport. It will have my new name and gender on it when it arrives, but it hasn't arrived yet. As a boy, why do you like ETS 2? Says Mr. Joe Grind. I just like ETS 2 because it's a very relaxing, very calming game, and it's a lot of fun. That's it. I just think it's a really fun, relaxing game, you know? And I say this as someone who's not particularly interested in trucks, you know? I'm not a massive like truck nerd or anything. I'm really into trains and I'm really into tractors, but trucks are just kind of, you know, they're kind of cool, but I don't really know much about them. But the game's really fun, and I don't think there needs to be more of a reason than that. I just like the game, you know. Will you grow out of this phase, says Mr. Joe Grind. Well, it's been 4 years, Joe, so I haven't so far. I'll keep you posted. Is there an add-on so you can watch YouTube in the game in your cab, says John's lovely face. I don't think there is, John, no. You can put custom music on the radio, but I don't know about video. I don't think you can set up the sat-nav to watch video on it. You'll realise eventually this isn't right. Give it a rest, Joe. Give it a rest. Like I say, I've been out for 4 years, and not once have I ever said to myself, oh, maybe I'm making a mistake, maybe it's all in my head. Like, no. I don't regret a single minute of it, so please go away. Does ProMods give you everything, or all the maps? You need to download it. So ProMods is focused solely on Europe, so it won't add in any of the Africa or East Asia or any of those other places that I've got on my game. ProMods is just focused on Europe. Basically, ProMods just overhauls the existing map areas. It does add a few new countries as well, but mostly it just replaces the road network from the base game. Do you do TikTok/social media full time, says Robert. I don't, Robert. Maybe someday. It would be really cool if this was my full-time career and I could just get paid for playing video games 3 times a week. But no, I don't make a living playing video games 3 times a week. I get a little bit of money from donations and stuff, and I do have some supporters over on Patreon who I'm very thankful for, but I don't like make big bucks doing it or anything. I make like maybe £10–15 a month in total, so we're not there yet. We're not quite at influencer status yet. I hate that word anyway, so Do you drive trucks in real life too, says Franz Conrad. I don't, Franz, no. I don't drive at all in real life. I don't even have a provisional license, so... The only vehicle I've ever driven is a tractor. When I was, like, 15. Wait, have we passed the petrol station, by the way? We were supposed to... Okay, it's 88 miles away. And we got 200, nearly 300 miles on the clock, so... Did you not get sick of playing this constantly? Says Xavier. Well, I only play it once a week. I do play a little bit off-stream, but I tend to only play this game when I'm streaming it, which I only do once a week. Like I say, I might do a couple of hours here and there throughout the week, but I wouldn't say I play it constantly. How's the screen moving when you move your head, says Josh. I'm using a head tracker, Josh. I'm using head tracking software called OpenTrack. It works off a webcam, so I can look around the cab just by turning my head. It's not an eye tracker, crucially. I did try using an eye tracker before, and I learned the hard way. Eye tracking is not appropriate for this game. Head tracking is definitely a lot better. The difference, by the way, is eye tracking tracks your eye movement. So, like, just doing this would move the camera, whereas head tracking you have to actually physically turn your head, which is a lot more intuitive. I found that when I was using the eye tracker, every time that I looked over at the chat, the camera would just go crazy in game. So I use a head tracker instead now, and it's a lot better. It's called OpenTrack, yes. What's pronouns she, her? Thanks for asking, MK. Okay, I think we might need to be in the right-hand lane here. Why not just drive an actual truck? Because this game costs £13 and an actual truck costs a bit more than £13. Top 3 truck bands, says Josh. I'm not really big on trucks, Josh. As I said earlier, I think as much as I enjoy the game, I'm not really a truck person. I'm not hugely into trucks, but from what I've seen, I do really like Scania. So I would definitely put Scania as number 1. I'm in the hard shoulder there. I also quite like Volvo. The first truck I got in the game was a Volvo FH, and they're pretty good. And then, I don't know, maybe MAN. MAN are pretty good as well. But Scania definitely, like I say, from what I do know about trucks, Scania is probably the cream of the crop, you know, the best of the bunch. Your wheel lags a bit, says Jerome. Yes, it does, Jerome. So this wheel is almost 3 years old, and it has seen better days. It's been bruised and battered quite a lot over the years, and, you know, just general wear and tear as well. I do need to get a new one, and I'm currently on the lookout for a new one. I think I'm going to be getting the Thrustmaster T248. Get a G29. Nope. No racing wheels, please. If you do have any wheel recommendations, they must be trucking wheels. I don't want a racing wheel. So no G29s, no G920s. Trucking wheels only, please, if you have any recommendations. Hey, Charlie, how are you doing? Your name's on the board. Charlie's on the board, everybody. Does the game track your eyes, says Cornelius? The game isn't tracking my eyes, Cornelius. I'm using a head tracker called OpenTrack. Do you have flatmates that play games too, says John? I live with my brother, John, but he's quite big on games as well. He's got a PC too. Not really the same sort of games that I'm into though, so we don't really play many games together. Where is this petrol station? God, we're still 42 miles away from it. I've realised that I'm terrible at judging distances on this game. Thanks for the heart me, by the way, Edmonds. I don't know when you sent that, but thank you. Watch pronouns. She, her. Thanks for asking, Ross. Do you ever play 18 Wheels of Steel? I've never actually played 18 Wheels of Steel, John. Isn't that the one that's by the same developers as Euro Truck? I think it was like the first game that they did way back. I could be wrong. I might be getting it mixed up for something else. Okay, toll booth. We are in France, so there's going to be toll booths galore. Oh, I've shifted down a bit too far there. Shouldn't have gone all the way down to third. Yes, it was Late Noughties. It's a classic. I'll have to give it a look. I haven't actually played any of the other games by this developer. I haven't even played American Truck Simulator because I've mentioned before I'm not really into American-style trucks and American-style trucking. I prefer European trucking. So yeah, I've never even played American Truck Simulator. Oops. The Australian truck game First Haul is good, Sir Edmonds. I'll have to take a look, Edmonds. If you don't mind me asking, how old are you? I'm 26, IOA. Are you on multiplayer? Not today, Truck Spotter. We're single player again today. And we're currently doing a job from Algeria to Turkey, which is, I think, shock absorbers. 16 tons of shock absorbers to Ferizli in Turkey. I'm back. How are you doing, Joel? Welcome. Did you go Danum, says John's lovely face. Danum School? No. I did briefly go to Danum Hall, the music school, back when I played violin. Long time ago. I haven't even touched a violin in like the last 8 years. But I used to play violin in school, and I used to go every Saturday to Danum Hall in Doncaster, which is a music school. Nowadays I just play piano. I do still have a violin, but I literally haven't touched it in years, and I don't know, I just kind of fell out of love with the violin. I really enjoyed it back when I first started playing it, but then I got into piano, and I really fell in love with the piano, and now I pretty much exclusively play piano. Okay, we need fuel badly. We need it soon, and we need it now. Can I ask how long will the drive take, says Nathan? Well, we have got... Oh, hang on, it won't let me see while I'm at the petrol station. I will tell you in a moment. Girls make their beds. Well, I'm not a girl, I'm 26 years old. I think you meant to say ladies make their beds, and in any case, don't care. I don't. Okay, the drive has 90... Right, that can't be right. That cannot be right. There's no way there's still 90 hours on this job. What? Oh no, that's how long till the job expires. The actual drive is 40 hours. Which I would say... It'll probably take us to 6 o'clock, honestly. It'll probably take us to the end of the stream. The thing I'm worried about is when we get to Croatia, because the game... the game crashes here, on the border between Austria and Slovenia. Or is it Slovakia? I get the two confused. I'm very sorry. The game always crashes when I cross over that border. In fact, I might actually go this way instead, like follow this road here and explicitly avoid going across that particular border crossing, because literally it always crashes in that spot. Let's do that. Let's reroute to that. Let's go that way. And then that cuts out Austria. Sorry, Austria, but we're gonna completely bypass Austria because the game always crashes there. Hi, Bennett. How are you doing? Is there any cheap steering wheel? Says Fall. I want to start playing games like this. This is a really good cheap steering wheel, Fall. This wheel I bought for £230. That includes the wheel, the side panel, and the pedals. That's about as cheap as you can get for a brand new wheel, and it's perfect for Euro Truck and Farming Sim. If you want to do racing games, it's not really suitable for that kind of stuff, but if you want more heavy-duty games, like, say, trucks, tractors, that kind of stuff, buses, this is a really good one to go for. It's called the Logitech G Heavy Equipment Wheel. Thanks for following, Nathan Forrest. Good, you. I'm good, Bennett. Thank you. Are these real maps, says Nova? It is based on real life, yes. So all the major roads are based on real motorways and stuff like that. Obviously, the map is at a scale of 1 to 19, so it's quite compressed. But it's a fairly good representation of the real world, yes. Oh wait, I need to mark the next rest stop as well, which is going to be in... What did it say? 8 hours and 3 minutes. Okay. So we need to put a rest stop in about 8 hours. Oh. Vicenza is exactly 8 hours away. So if we go to... Yeah, if we go to this station here, 7 hours and 16 minutes. Perfect time for a rest stop. Saul, says Charlie. What's up, Charlie? What do you get for this drive, or is it just for fun, says Nathan? It's just for fun, Nathan. You get paid for it in-game, obviously. The point of the game, basically, is you just do deliveries, and you get paid for the deliveries, and then you can use the money to buy bigger trucks and stuff like that. Hi, Paul, says MM00. Hi, MM00. Nice try, nice try. I always find this funny because, for those of you who don't know, my name is Saul, S-A-U-L. It is very much a gendered name. It's a stereotypically masculine name. But because I chose not to change my name when I came out, it basically means it's impossible for you to call me by my dead name, because I don't have a dead name. I've got the same name that I was given when I was born. So what tends to happen is people know that they can't insult me by calling me my old name, so they try to insult me by calling me just any male name at all. They just pull a name out of a hat and call me that instead. It doesn't work, but they do try. Class looks like a good game. Thank you, Nathan. It is a great name. It's a great game, sorry. It's a great name as well. It's a great game, it's very fun, it's a very relaxing game. That's what I really enjoy the most about it, you know? Does your dad miss his son? Nope, my dad is one of my biggest supporters. He has been very vocally in my corner from day one. Absolutely love my dad, and I'm very, very grateful for him for being there for me. And obviously my mum as well, because my whole family have been very, very supportive. I have gone into the wrong lane, and now I need to cut into the traffic here, which is going to be a bit risky. I'm going in front of this Renault. I don't care, he's going to let me in. What are you delivering? Shock absorbers, Bennett. 16 tons of shock absorbers. He still has to miss his son. Why would he miss his son? His son is still here. Like, I'm still the same person. It's not like I died and then some random person came in and said, I'm your child now. Like, I'm literally the same person that I always was. Like, his son didn't die. She just turned into a woman, you know? Do you use any traffic mods that make it so there's more cars on the road, says Pleaseburger? I do, Pleaseburger, yes. So I've got real traffic density, which is on the Steam Workshop, so you don't need to go to any third-party websites. You can just search it up on the Steam Workshop and add it straight in. Really great mods. It does make the traffic a lot more realistic. I've also got realistic traffic sounds, too. What was your dead name? As mentioned earlier, I don't have a dead name because I have the same name that I was given when I was born. Saul, S-A-U-L, that's the name that has been on my birth certificate for the last 26 years and will continue to be on my birth certificate for the rest of my life because I think it's a really cool name and I decided to keep it when I came out. Better Call Saul, says George. Hold on, George, hold on. There's the coaster. There's the coaster. There we go. There's the Better Call Saul coaster, which I have to show to the camera every time someone says Better Call Saul. Do you want a HGV license in real life, says GN? I don't, GN, no. Like I say, I'm not really fussed about driving in general, IRL. And if I don't want to drive a car, I definitely don't want to drive a HGV. Do you drink alcohol, says John? I do, John, yes. My drink of choice is cider. The reason that I drink cider is because the first time that I ever really drank was when I was at university. I had the odd drop before then, but the first time in my life that I had disposable income to spend on alcohol was when I was at university in Somerset. So I got into cider, and that's always been my drink of choice ever since. I don't drink very often. You know, I'll have a pint or two every now and then. But yeah, cider has always been my go-to because I went to university in Somerset, which is, you know, cider country. And I'm pretty much the only one in the family as well. Most of my family are beer drinkers. My dad's a beer drinker. My mum prefers beer. My brothers and sisters prefer beer. I'm pretty much the only one who goes for cider. But yeah, I love a nice Thatcher's. That's what I'm drinking on a hot day when everyone else has got a beer. I'll have a Thatcher's. Do you ever do piano live streams, says Kaylee McCoffey. I hope I'm saying that name right, by the way, Kaylee. I have done one piano live stream. We tried it once. It wasn't the most successful. I think the piano didn't come across as well on stream as it does on a video. You know, the audio quality I think is a lot higher on a video than it is on a live stream. And also, because I had to position the camera somewhere that the whole piano was in shot, it meant that I couldn't monitor the chat and stuff like that because the phone was like 3 feet away from me, so that you could see the whole piano. So it was mildly successful. I think I could do it again. I think I can definitely see a piano live stream happening again in future. But I think for now we'll stick to piano videos. And we'll keep the live streams for gaming. When could you do a modelling live, says Bennett. Oh, do you mean modelling like, as in like scale modelling? I've done some Lego live streams. I've done some Lego building live streams, but I've never done any like... I suppose we did technically do a live stream where I showed my model railway. So we could do something like that again at some point. The thing is, I haven't done any work on my model railway for like a year. I just haven't really touched it that much recently. But I'd definitely be interested in doing a model railway live stream, because a lot of people do ask about my model railway. A lot of people do have an interest in that. You can't see it on the stream right now because it's literally just out of frame. But I do have a model railway. It's about this big, like a meter by a foot, shall we say. It's on a little shelf layout in N gauge, but I'm really happy with it. Like I say, I haven't really done much work on it lately, but I'd love to get back into it. And maybe it would make for a good live stream, who knows. Where are you driving, says David? We're driving to Turkey at the minute, David. Ferizli in Turkey. I have the London skyline set, says Edmonds. I also have the London skyline set, Edmonds. Why is this gate not opening? Excuse me, why is the gate... Are you joking? I can't back out. I can't go backwards right now. There's a okay. So, slight problem. We can't actually go through this gate. We need to go through the one directly to my right. And I also can't go backwards because there's a truck behind me. And unfortunately, the AI drivers in this game don't know how to reverse. So we're completely stuck. Just drive through it. Unfortunately, the barriers are also completely indestructible in this game too, so we can't drive through it. I think we're gonna have to get towed to service. Yeah, literally the only option is to get towed to the nearest service station. That's unfortunate, but shit happens, you know. An hour and 20 minutes to Monaco. That's not too far away. We're fairly close to Monaco. Unfortunately, it's the only option right now. We could reload an autosave, as Reese says, but it takes forever to load because I've got so many mods active. Literally, we'd be waiting 20 minutes if I tried to reload the game. I think this was the best option. There we go. What is that music? Okay. I'm hearing some drums. I'm hearing a beat. Can you... is that coming across on the stream? Can you hear that? I like it. I'm digging it. Does this game have all of Europe, says Dan? Yes, the only country that isn't currently in the game... Well, there are 2 European countries that aren't currently in the game, those being Ireland and Iceland. The next DLC is going to be Iceland, so that's going to be added quite soon. Ireland, there's still no announcements, but because I've got quite a lot of mods, I can visit those countries, and, you know, also Africa and Asia and literally everywhere. I can go anywhere I want. There are more, says S. Technically, yeah, you could argue Ukraine and Belarus over on the eastern side. They're not in the game yet either, so it'd be nice to see them at some point. But the vast majority of Europe is in the game. Okay, where are we, by the way? Where did we get towed to? We got towed to Monaco. I think that's the gate that we got stuck at. So we've literally only gone a few miles to our left. Oh, but we're going to have to go all the way down there to turn around and come back again. Shit. So that's, unfortunately, that's extended the journey time a little bit. But there really was no other option. there was nothing else we could have done there. Whose name is Saul? Says Lady Whistle. Now that's my name. My name is Saul. Are you looking to date? Says Gov. I'm not Gov. No, thank you. I'm enjoying the single life at the moment. My name is Saul. Says Lady Whistledown. So's mine. Nice to meet you, Saul. It's always nice to meet a Saul in the wild because there aren't too many of us. You know, it's not the most common of names. In 35 years, never met another Saul, says Lady Damn, Lady Whistledowns. I've met a few. There was a kid called Saul in my school, my secondary school. He was the only other Saul in the entire school. And I've known a couple of other Sauls over the years, but yeah, there aren't too many Sauls out there. How's your head moving with the game? I'm using a head tracker, Zen, called Open Track. Had to think for a second there. Using Open Track. I am in the wrong lane here. I need to be on this side. Does everyone pronounce it wrong and call you Sol all the time? Yes, they do, Lady Whistledowns. Even in the chat, people spell it wrong. Even though the name's in my bio and in the description of the stream, People still spell it Sol, even in the chat. Which I'm not mad about, you know. I just think it's funny. Is the head track free or is it a physical device, says Zen. You will need a webcam, Zen. So if you've got a spare webcam, you can get the software for free. But like I say, you do need a head tracker for it to work. The roads in Monaco are a little bit tight, I gotta say. Are you from London? It says Arine Alex. Sorry, I'm not Alex. No, I'm from Doncaster. What's the origin of the name? It sounds nice, says H. So the reason for my name is because my dad is a big Guns N' Roses fan, and the lead guitarist of Guns N' Roses is called Saul Hudson, better known as Slash, one of the greatest guitarists ever. And I think it's pretty cool that I happen to be named after Slash, so I decided to keep my name when I came out a few years ago, because I think it's a pretty cool name. It's not a very common name, and also, you know, the story behind the name is really cool as well, so that's why I still have the name Saul. Very laggy, says Luke. Yeah, the lag is caused by the head tracker, unfortunately. That is a compromise that you kind of have to put up with. But I think it's worth it for just being able to use the head tracker at all, because it really does make the game so much more immersive. Like I say, the lag is unfortunate, but I think it's because of the head tracker is a bit more frantic than using a thumbstick. You know, like if you look around with a thumbstick, it's quite a smooth movement, whereas with my head, I can turn my head really quickly, and that causes the head tracking software to lag. Is the lag because your PC can't handle it? So it's not actually the game that's lagging. Like I say, it's really the head tracker that's causing the lag. But hey, it's free software. I can't really complain when it's free software, you know. And like I say, I think it's mostly caused by just how erratic the head movements can be. Because if you've been watching for a long time, you'll know that I play Euro Truck quite a lot on stream, and we don't normally have this problem when I'm not using the head tracker. So it really is just the head tracker that's causing the problems. But again, it's a free head tracker, and it's really cool to have head tracking. So I'd rather disable the head tracker than deal with lag. Well, I'd rather use the head tracker and deal with the lag. I really don't mind lag. I grew up with a Windows XP laptop. I didn't upgrade to Windows 10 until like 2019. I'm used to playing games with a lot of lag, you know? And it's also it's really not that bad, genuinely. What's the software called? The software is called OpenTrack. And it works off a webcam, sorry, so all you need is a webcam, and the software itself is free. How'd you get the mods, says Ruben? So most of my mods are from a site called Trucky Mods, which is probably the best place to go if you want mods for Euro Truck Simulator. Some mods have their own websites, like Pro Mods, for example, has its own website, but a lot of the mods that I use are from Trucky Mods. Pretty cool head tracking, to be fair. Thank you, Xelite. And all you need is a webcam. Yes, all you need is a webcam. How'd you get Africa, says David? So there's a few Africa mods. We've got Northern Africa, which adds in Algeria, Morocco, those kind of places. There's Heart of Africa, which adds in some Central African countries. There's Horn of Africa, which adds in Somalia and other places on the eastern side of Africa. There's Road into Wilderness, which adds a road all the way down to South Africa. So there's a few different Africa-related mods, and we have all of them. Is the steering wheel good, says Luke? It's a good steering wheel, yes. It's a cheap steering wheel, but you get what you pay for, you know. It's £230 for the wheel and side panel, and 2 pedals, so it's a good starting point. But I am looking to upgrade it quite soon. Is it the farming sim wheel? It is, yes. It's the Logitech heavy equipment wheel, which was designed for Farming Simulator, but it works very well for other heavy-duty driving games, Euro Truck, OMSI, you know, SnowRunner. Any game involving trucks, tractors, buses, it's a good wheel for all of that. It's not really suitable for racing, because it's not a racing wheel. Okay, let's not go the wrong way through the toll booth this time, because we don't want a repeat of that fiasco. Can you use it on Xbox, says Logan? I believe so, Logan. Don't quote me on it. I'm not 100% sure. But I'm pretty sure it is plug and play with Xbox and PlayStation as well. Excuse me. The game isn't on Xbox, though. The game is PC only. Do you have to keep your eyes focused in the middle of the screen while you turn your head? Nope. So it doesn't track my eyes at all. If I move my eyes around like this, you can see it's doing absolutely nothing in the game. It only tracks head movements. I did try using an eye tracker before, but it meant that every time I looked at the chat, the camera went really crazy. So this is not an eye tracker, it's a head tracker specifically. Do you play Truckers MP, says Warren? I have played Truckers MP in the past, Warren, yes. I can't right now because we're playing with quite a lot of mods, but I have done a few streams of Truckers MP, and I do enjoy Truckers MP. Do you have a truck license, says Tar54? I don't, Tar54. I don't have a driving license, don't even have a provisional. Where's your indicators, says TM? So my indicators are on this stick here, on the side panel, which is pretty cool. How come you don't have a license? I just don't really want or need one. I don't really have any reason to drive, so... it's quite laggy, is that just me, says Will? That's the head tracker, Will. Unfortunately, the head tracker does cause a bit of lag within the game. But like I said earlier, it's a trade-off that I'm willing to make. And as long as you... It's not too bad when you keep your head straight. It's more if you move your head erratically. If you move your head really quickly, it can cause a bit of lag. But having said that, it seems to have smoothed out a little bit here. So maybe it was just that part of the map that was causing a bit of lag. We'll see. We'll see if it improves from this point. Watch PC specs, and are your graphics on Ultra? My graphics are on high, Tommy, not Ultra, but I do have a few graphics overhaul mods as well. My PC specs, I've got 32 gigs RAM and an 8GB RTX 2070. What software do you use for head tracking? The software is called OpenTrack, and it works off a webcam. Completely free. How old are you, says Tar54? I'm 26, Tar54. Okay, so we've just come off the motorway. We're now going back onto the motorway, and then we're going back to the same toll booth that we got stuck at earlier. So hopefully we won't get stuck there again. You remind me of Mokel Jackson, says Boclips. I'm not sure who Mokel Jackson is, Boclips. Perhaps you meant Michael Jackson, in which case you're not the first person to have told me that. Do you need a high-end computer to run this well, says Luke? I wouldn't say so. If you want to be playing on ultra graphics, then a higher-end PC is probably a good shout. But you don't need the best PC in the world to run the game. I mean, I first played this game on a Lenovo IdeaPad laptop, and it ran pretty well on medium graphics, so... under 2k, says Luke. 1k, actually. My PC cost £1,012. So just over £1,000. So it's not super top of the range. I'd say it's you know, sort of middle of the road for a gaming PC, and it runs the game fairly well. Like I say, there is a bit of lag at the minute, but that's mostly caused by the head tracker. But I haven't really had any problems with it. And like I say, I first played this game on a Lenovo IdeaPad, which was like a really crappy gaming laptop, and it ran pretty well on that as well. It's not the most resource-intensive game. I've just crashed. I literally looked to see that there was no traffic coming, and I still managed to crash. And also now I'm stuck in the middle lane because there's cars on both sides. Are all the mods free? Yes, Luke. All the mods I'm using are free. What's the graphics card? Says Hourcon. It's a RTX 2070. What's the longest drive you can do on this game, and does it span multiple countries? Yes, it does. So the job I'm on right now, actually, is from Algeria to Turkey. The longest job we've ever done was from the Faroe Islands to South Africa, which was a 12,000 kilometre drive. And it took us about 7 or 8 live streams to finish it. Would you not consider driving an automatic car? Said Alistair. I mean, it's not really the automatic or manual that's putting me off. I just don't really want to drive at all. Like, I don't think it makes a difference whether it's automatic or manual. I'm just not interested in driving. As much as I enjoy driving games, and as much fun as it is driving in video games, I just really am not bothered about doing it in real life, you know? Answer my question. You know, I know you saw it. Says Will Spec. I didn't, in fact, see your question, Will Spec. And there was probably a reason that I didn't. Okay, we're coming up to the toll booth, and we need to make sure we're in the right berth this time because we couldn't get through before. Hey, S580, yeah, how are you doing? They always get so defensive, says Will Spec. Yes, because nothing sounds more defensive than I didn't see your question. That's possibly the most defensive statement I could possibly have said, is that I just didn't see the question that you asked. Why is the game so laggy, says JP? The lag, again, is mostly caused by the head tracker. Like I say, we've played this game quite a lot without the head tracker, and it doesn't normally lag as badly as this, so the only logical conclusion is that the head tracker is causing the lag. Bit of a crash there, says Johns. Yeah, don't. There'll be quite a few fender benders. I don't get into many serious crashes in this game, but there'll be quite a few bumps and scrapes. that tends to happen. I'm not a good driver. What head tracker is that? I'll have to set that up too. It's called OpenTrack, and it works off a webcam. So if you've got a spare webcam, just download OpenTrack. It's completely free, and it lets you do head tracking for Euro Truck. Oh, and it's night time. Lovely. Right, before we move off, let's mark the next rest point. Oh god, okay, I don't think we're finishing this drive today, actually. We're still... We haven't even crossed into Italy yet. That's 7 hours. How is that 7 hours away? No, because when we were over here... Wait. Have we've only driven that far? We've only driven from Marseille to... We've been driving for like an hour. That's it? That's how far we've driven? Jesus Christ. Okay, well we need to get a move on then. I've just knocked my plane now. We need to get a move on. Let's see your truck, says Mr. Noah. There is the truck, Noah. We're a little bit close to the truck in front, but we haven't actually crashed. You'll see it a bit better in the daytime, but there it is. It's the Scania Streamline R730. And it is in the colours of the Trans Pride flag, of course, naturally. Okay, some nighttime driving. You know how much I love driving at night in this game. Why don't you become a trucker, says FFS. I just don't want to. It's not something that I'd be interested in doing in real life. What's steering wheel model? The steering wheel is the Logitech G heavy equipment wheel, Riley. But you play the game for hours, says FFS. Yes, some people play Call of Duty for hours, but they don't want to sign up for the armed forces. Some people play Flight Simulator for hours, but they don't want to be airline pilots. People can enjoy doing things in a game without wanting to do that thing in real life. Does it have driving hours and everything, says Charlie. What do you mean, Charlie? It tells you how long the drive is, yes. This drive currently is going to take us another 38 hours. That's not real time, that's in-game. Thanks for following Retro Vibes 08. I've just hit that truck on the left there. Whoops. I think it means how long have you driven that specific truck. Oh, this truck here. We can have a look in Truck Manager, I think. 1 second. We've driven this truck for 96,000 miles. It should be 10k by the end, 100k, sorry, by the end of this drive then. Oh, wait, no. That's the wrong truck. That's the other Scania. Hang on. We've driven this one for nearly 90,000 hours. Do you have to have a break? Yes, you do have to have a break. The break is every 11 hours. So if you don't sleep every 11 hours, you will fall asleep at the wheel, which will lead to crashes. That's why I've marked on the next rest stop on the map. You can see, 1 sec. On my HUD there, it says next rest stop in 10 hours, 18 minutes. So in 10 hours and 18 minutes in-game, I'll need to sleep again. What's 38 hours in real time, says FFS? Couldn't tell you. No idea. I have played this game for nearly 10 years, and I could not tell you the timescale at all. I'm terrible at judging how long these things actually take. I would wager that we won't get it finished in today's stream, though. I'd say maybe 3 or 4 hours. And we're only streaming for another hour. Sorry, I heard a knock. Uh, 38 hours is about 2 hours 20, says Ag24. 1 hour is 3 minutes real time. I mean, I'll take your word for it. But literally every single time I say it's probably going to take us about 20 minutes, I'm always wrong. Whenever I say it's going to take about this long, I'm always wrong. Thanks for following Charlie Mailer. Or Charlie Mailer, sorry. Internet shows 1 hour in game is 3 minutes 79 seconds. It does vary though. The timescale actually changes depending on the kind of road you're driving on. So 3 hours, 1 hour to 3 minutes is probably like a rough estimate. But if you're driving on national highways, the clock actually goes a little bit faster. And if you're driving on like country back roads and stuff like that, the clock actually goes a little bit slower. which you don't notice when you play in the game, but it just, like, subconsciously, it makes the motorways feel quicker and it makes the country roads feel slower, you know? How long have you been trans, says Chubby? I came out 4 years ago, 2022. Hey Saul, how's it going? It's going good, Ellis. How are you doing? Thank you for following Brody Sheps and Tobogo Ramothibe. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I apologise if not. Charlie Zard. Charlie Zard, thank you for following. Okay, hang on. I need to concentrate on the road a minute because my driving has suddenly gotten exponentially worse. There's too much chat. No offence, guys, but you're talking too much. Good. How about yourself, says Ellis. I'm pretty good, Ellis. Yeah, can't complain. Did you have Chinese last night, says Charlie? No, Charlie. I actually ended up getting a McDonald's instead. I considered a Chinese, and I considered it an unwise decision, and I got a McDonald's instead. And you know I got a big arch. I fancied a big arch. When it came down to it, Chinese or a big arch, I went for the big arch. I caved and bought cheap fast food instead, and it was delicious. McDonald's order, says Fat Freddo. My normal McDonald's order, when there's no specials on, I normally go for a Big Mac, but I also, whenever there is a special on, I tend to go for the special burgers. And at the minute, obviously, they've got the big arch on, so that's what I went with this time. But I love their special burgers. Whenever they've got anything, any special offers on, any, you know, great tastes of the world, or, you know, Christmas burgers, and, you know, any other seasonal items like that, I'll always go for that. I've never had the big arch. Is it good? It is good. It is good, Fat Freddo. It's sort of like a Big Mac, but the sauce is a bit different, and it's a lot bigger as well. And it doesn't have a middle slice of bread like the Big Mac does. So actually, it's nothing like a Big Mac at all, really. It's a big burger with a sauce that I can't really describe the sauce, to be honest. It kind of tastes like Rustler's burger sauce. If you ever had a Rustler's burger, the sauce on the Big Arch is quite similar. It's good. It's a good burger. I loved the burger with peppercorn sauce they did not long ago. Oh, yeah. I'm a sucker for their special sauces. Anything that's got a special sauce or a special cheese on it, I'm eating that. I'll have that. Better Call Saul, says Adam. Read the coaster. Read the coaster, Adam. Thank you. Oh, shit. Ah! That was my own fault. How McD point do you have? Says Charlie. Oh, I don't have McDonald's reward points because I don't actually order from the McDonald's app. I order from Uber Eats. Seavert Logistics, do you want to join my company? I'm on single player at the moment, Seavert Logistics, but, you know, if I ever do get back into Truckers MP, I'll consider it. Where's your bedding, bro? Says Tom. It's there on my bed. You see that thing that's all crumpled up on my bed because I haven't made it properly? That's my bedding. Just looks like a sheet. Well, it's a duvet. It's a double duvet with a cover on it. Not that there's anything wrong with sleeping with just a sheet. I know plenty of people who don't use duvets and just have a sheet, but that's a duvet. Is the camera connected to your headset, Kenzie? No, I'm using a head tracker called Open Track, which works off a webcam. So I've got a webcam facing directly at me. We play on single, says Sievert. Oh, how does that work on? How do you have a company on single player? I'm just curious. Do you have Discord, says Sievert? I do, Sievert, yes. If you want to join the Discord, there's a link in my bio. I can see the review mirror. I was just about to say I can't see the review mirror at all. I just wasn't looking far enough left. How come it lags so much? That's because of the head tracker, Finley. 6 o'clock finish tonight, says Charlie. I'm not sure yet, Charlie. Obviously, we did start an hour late, so I don't know if we're going to go over extra to make up for it. But we'll see. Finley says, I wouldn't be able to put up with that. I mean, like I said earlier, I grew up with a crappy Windows XP laptop. I didn't get Windows 10 until I started university. I'm used to playing Minecraft at 2 frames per second on a PC with a screen this big. So laggy games just really don't bother me at all. I'm so used to it. We can play on single player trucks book. Okay. I'm still not sure what that is, Sievert, but I'm definitely curious. I'll definitely look into it. Bet your dad's proud of you, says Sean. He is, Sean, yes. My dad is very supportive of me. He's been there for me right from day one. Is your name Ash? No, my name is Saul, but my surname is Ashbridge, hence the Ashbridge Industries. Okay, another toll booth. Are we actually going to get through the toll booth this time, or are we going to go the wrong way again? Okay, I see a marker on the floor. This one definitely will let us through. Do you have a girlfriend, says Sean? I don't, Sean, and I'm not looking for one at the minute, so... Do you have a girlfriend, Sean? Do you have eye tracking? I have head tracking. I'm using a software called Open Track, which works off a webcam. I have about 20, says Sean. Okay, so that's a no then, is it, Sean? That's a definitive no. Krushy says, I don't really understand this, but what gender are you attracted to? I would consider myself pansexual, Krushy, so I don't really have any preference when it comes to gender. Well, I wouldn't say I don't have a preference. I do prefer women, but I'm also open to men and non-binary people and whatever else. But definitely, I would say that I lean towards women. Is there something where you can plug your phone in and use it for head tracking, says Gary Hutchinson? I think there is, Gary, yes. I don't know what it's called, but I've heard people mention it before. There is a way to use phone as a head tracker. So you're a lesbian, says Mason. Yes, because lesbians famously are attracted to men. Like, did you not hear me say, I have a preference for women, but I also like men? Be good with LiDAR, says Gary. Honestly, yeah. I think LiDAR has so much potential. I've played a couple of those, you know, those horror games that use LiDAR to, like, you know the games that I mean. They use, like, echolocation and LiDAR to build the world around you. I think LiDAR has some really cool potential when it comes to video games. And I think we haven't seen it at its full potential yet, you know? Thanks for following Seabot Logistics. Add me on Discord, please. I will after the stream, Seabot Logistic. How did you come out? How did you feel at the time? I'm genuinely curious, says Tom. So I recommend checking out my pinned video about this, Tom, because I do have a video talking about how I came out. It's a very long story, but, you know, basically, I never really felt comfortable with myself growing up. I had a lot of body image issues. I had a lot of issues with, you know, self-image and self-confidence, and I felt very uncomfortable in my own body, kind of thing. But I was a teenager, and quite a lot of teenagers feel like that, and usually it doesn't mean anything. Usually it's just hormones, and then you get to adulthood and it goes away. But in my case, I got to adulthood and it didn't go away, and I still felt those feelings, and I still had this discomfort, and I just really felt like I felt like I was a stranger in my own body, you know, kind of thing. Like I just, something about it was fundamentally wrong. And that's when I got to asking myself, you know, would I be happier if I had been born a girl? Would I be happier if I'd been raised as a girl and if I lived as a woman? And that sort of sent me down the path towards questioning my gender, and that's how I eventually came to realise that I was transgender. And I'm a lot more comfortable now. Like I say, I mean, before I had so many issues with my body image and with self-confidence and stuff like that, but now I'm so self-confident and I'm so comfortable, and I really feel like a light bulb just clicked on in my head, you know, and everything just makes sense. And I don't regret it. I've not looked back for a moment. I genuinely feel more comfortable in myself now than I could have even imagined before. So that's basically how it all happened. If you want to see the actual video where I talk about it in more detail, do go and check it out. But it was a long journey, and here's the result. You know, here we are. Do you drive in real life? I don't, Gary, no. Are you pissed up? Can't even stay in lane, says Luke. And here we have the answer to why I don't drive in real life. Because I would be objectively terrible at it. Did you have surgery, says Connor? I haven't had surgery, Connor, no, and I don't intend to have surgery. That's not something that I feel is necessary for me personally. Ironically, that was the one part of myself that I never felt uncomfortable with. Everything else needs to go, but I'm more than happy with what's going on in that area. So no surgeries, and no surgeries planned either. How far are we from the next rest stop, by the way? 29 minutes. We're more or less there. It's literally around this next corner. Lovely. Would you not do anything with hormones? I do want to take hormones, yes. That is something that is quite a high priority for me. Hormone replacement therapy is something that I want to look into. But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I really need I think I don't really want surgery of any kind, not just down there, but I don't really want surgery here either, or facial surgery or anything like that. I think pretty much all the results that I'm after can be achieved with just hormones, and I feel like don't bother with surgery if you don't need it, because not everyone needs it. Not a girl, says Tyrese. Correct, Tyrese. I'm a woman, because girl is a child, and I'm 26. Nope, not a boy either. Boy also is a child, and once again, not a child. Hey Saul, how's your Tuesday going? Very good, Lee. How are you doing? Okay, rest stop time. Ooh. I'm gonna have a little drink of iron brew while we sleep. Lovely. What you playing, says James? Euro Truck Simulator 2. Stop trying to be a smart ass because girl means child. You know what I mean, says Tyrese. I do know what you mean, Tyrese. I know exactly what you mean. What you're doing is deliberately using infantilizing language. It's a very common tactic that is used when talking to gay people or trans people or whatever else. You treat them like a child by using words like boy and girl, instead of using words like man and woman, which you'd use if you were talking to anybody else. It's a very deliberate tactic. I know that you know what you're doing when you say girl instead of woman, and I will call you out on it. Thanks for following, by the way, Connor Daveron24. Watch pronouns, she, her, thanks for asking, Connor. I've just come off the boat at Holyhead. Nice one, Keen. Where are you driving to? Why did you want to be a girl, says Josh. Not to deflect the question, Josh, but I did just answer this question like 10 minutes ago. Sorry if you missed it, but I do have a video about it if you want to know more. I'm not going to do the whole explanation again because I literally just got done doing it. But I do have a video about it if you want to know more. It's the very first one on my profile. Where did you buy the handbrake? This handbrake is just from eBay. I got it for like 30 quid. Sorry, 1 second. I don't know where it's from because it doesn't have any branding or anything on it, so I genuinely don't know the manufacturer or anything like that. I just found it was just on eBay as USB handbrake. So I really, honestly, unfortunately, I can't recommend where to get one yourself. That's just where I happen to find one. Will you get surgery? No, Junior. I don't feel that surgery is necessary for me personally. I also have a video about this as well, just in case anyone is curious about this. Like, if you're genuinely interested, I did a video recently about full transition, which doesn't really exist. It's not really a thing. Everyone transitions differently. You know, everyone starts in a different place, everyone ends in a different place, everyone will have different steps in mind when they transition. Not everyone will do the exact same things, you know, not everyone will have surgery, not everyone will have hormones, and for me personally, surgery isn't something that I feel is necessary. Up to Hull and across London, nice one, Keen, hope it's a good drive for you. Officine Bureno discovered. Lovely. Oh, we need to mark in our next rest stop, by the way. somewhere about 10 hours away. This is where we're going to have to divert, because I don't want to go through Austria, because, again, the game crashes a lot on this particular road here. We're going to take a slight detour and go via Trieste. That's 5 hours 30. Okay, could we get to... Oh, in fact, no, wait. I think the game crashed here as well before. You can see there's a section of road here that hasn't been discovered. I think it's because the game crashed here before. Could we go round this way, mate? Wait, is there... There is a slip road there, so we could go this way and then go straight across. I think we'll try and do that. And back for the boat to island. Nice one, Keen. Have a good drive. What map mods are you using, says Jake? I'm actually using about 200 mods, Jake, and lots of them are map related. We've obviously got Pro Mods Middle East, Pro Mods The Great Steppe. We've got all sorts of other mods as well. We got Heart of Africa, Horn of Africa, North Africa, Road into Wilderness. We've got Row Extended. We got Siberia Map, Rus Map, Trans-Siberian Truckway. We got Southern Region. We got Russian Open Spaces. We got Southeast Asia. We've got Australia. We got Antarctica. We got Canada. We can go anywhere. We can go anywhere you can possibly imagine in the entire supercontinent of Afro-Eurasia. That's not actually true. There's still quite a big area here that we can't visit, but there's quite a few places we can go. Anyway, I am going to put the next rest stop over here, or here. Yeah, there we go. We'll put one here. And then we also need to make sure that we're going this way. There we go. Oh, wow. 6 hours, 32 minutes. Wait a minute. Hold on. So it's going to take us 10 hours. So the route that it's taking us takes 10 hours, but the detour that we're taking only takes 6 hours. Okay. Well, in that case, we can get to this next station then. We can get to this one here. Where? Oh shit, I've lost the road now. There we go. Okay, good stuff. Let's continue. Is there a website that tells you the mod order, says Jake? I'm working on it at the minute, Jake. What? Where? Where? Where the fuck did you come from? Oh my god, he rolled. Oh, shit. Okay, just drive away, Saul. Just drive away. You saw nothing. You did nothing. I'm working on a mod list, Jake. The mods are all selected by me, so there's currently nowhere that you can see the exact list, but I am working on putting a list together if you want to play with the mods that I'm using. It'll take a bit of time though. I've got to track all the mods down, you know, provide download links for them all, and then show the order to put them all in. So we'll hopefully have one for you at some point. Swear word, says Mason. Yes. Oh my god. The 26-year-old swore on a live stream. I swear a lot. If that's the first time you've heard me swear, you haven't been here for very long. What version are you on, says Jake? I'm on 1.54 at the minute, Jake. I know they have just released 1.55, but most of the mods that I'm using are still only compatible with 1.54. So I'm on 1.54 at the minute. But I'll definitely be going to 1.55 when a good chunk of the mods are available. How long does the game take to launch, says Alex? It takes about like 10-15 minutes to load the game with all these mods. It does run fairly smoothly once it's up and running though. But yeah, it takes a while to load the game up. How much do you make from streaming a month, says Louis? Not too much, Louis. From gifts and stuff like that, I'd say maybe like a tenner, you know, if that. And I do get a bit of money from my Patreons as well. I've got 8 Patreon supporters now, and it costs £1 a month, so that's £8 a month from these guys. If you want to make it £9 a month, there's a link in my bio where you can join the Patreon. Do you want to do a convoy later, says Jake? I'm alright for today, Jake. I think I'm probably going to chill out this afternoon because it's been a pretty hectic day. I forgot to mention, actually, the reason that the stream started late today is because we had to get an electrician in to fix a broken plug socket. That's why the stream started late, but it's also meant that we had to have the electricity off for a while, so I'm a bit behind on some other stuff. So, yeah. It's been a busy day. I think I'm probably just going to take a break after the stream. You should use estrogel, says Toxic. Thanks for the recommendation, Toxic. I don't actually take any hormones at the minute. And obviously, when I do come to going down that route, I'll probably find out what works best for me. But I've always thought that gel would probably be the best option for me. I am not good with tablets. I have never successfully swallowed a tablet in my life. I just literally just can't do it. So I'd be terrible with tablets, and I'd also be terrible with injections because I hate injections. So I think it would either be patches or gel. Which, you know, I'm fine with either. You're not fussy at all, are you? No, Louis, I'm not. Fortunately, you can afford to be fussy because there are so many options for HRT. You can have patches, you can have gel, you can have injections, you can take tablets. There really is a lot of options. And some work better than others. I think injections are the strongest, so they like yield the fastest results, as far as I'm aware. But, you know, if you don't want injections, if you don't like taking injections, then you can go for one of the other options. That's the beauty of it. You have choice. If you don't mind me asking, how much on average do you spend on this setup? Says Mads. The whole setup, Mads, was £2,000. That was £1,000 for the computer and £1,000 for everything else. So steering wheel, headphones, monitors, everything else. Was £1,000, and then, like I say, £1,000 for the computer. If you check out the second video on my profile, I've got a video detailing where everything came from and how much it all costs. So if you want to find out the price of any specific bit of equipment, do check out that video, and it'll tell you everything you need to know. What truck are you using, says Char Char? We are using the Scania Streamline R730. Fantastic truck, one of my favourites. Will you do a piano stream, says Archie? As I said earlier, Archie, I don't think another piano stream is something that I'm going to be doing for a long time. Piano videos, definitely. In fact, I'm hoping to record a piano video tomorrow, so there should be a piano video coming later this week. But in terms of live streams, I don't think we're going to do another piano stream for a while, because the first one was a bit of a mixed bag. Wasn't hugely successful. Please just say lorry, says James. I mean, the game is called Euro Truck Simulator. Let's not be pedantic about truck versus lorry. The game's called Euro Truck, so I'm going to call it a truck. What mod is that for the maps, says Marcel? Which one do you mean, Marcel? If you mean the GPS map, I'm using a mod called Waze Navigation. That's W-A-Z-E, which is available on Steam Workshop. If you're talking about the actual map itself, all of this stuff, there's too many to count. There's too many to count. But the GPS is called Waze Navigation. And I'm also using the dark mode extension for that mod as well. Do you want to be a trucker in real life, or do you just enjoy the simulation, says Welsh TikToker? I just enjoy the simulation. It's not something that I'm particularly interested in doing in real life. It's very fun to play as a video game, but, you know, in real life it's a very different kettle of fish, you know, very different experience, you know, there's a lot more responsibility and a lot more risk. I'm happy enough to just do it as a game. Lorry's better and Scania is the best, or Volvo. I do agree Scania is the best. Big Scania fan. There are 2 genders, says SimRacer. Correct, SimGender. There are at least 2 genders. Just like there are 2 colours. Why are you driving on the line, says Roman Bush? Because I'm a bad driver. Does nobody like DAF trucks, says Welsh TikToker. I like DAF. Or should I say DAF, or should I be saying DAF? Either way, I like DAF. I think they're pretty good trucks. Watch PC specs, says Ethan Photography. 32 gigs RAM, 8 GB graphics cards, RTX 2070, and an Intel i5 11400F CPU. Your PC was kind of a scam, says Louis. I get told this every single stream. The reason my PC was quite expensive is because it's a custom pre-build. Obviously, buying a bog standard PC from Currys is going to be cheaper than getting one custom made, and obviously building a PC yourself is going to be cheaper than buying one that's been built for you. I think £1,000 for a custom PC made to order is pretty decent. Like I say, yes, I could have got it cheaper if I'd built it myself, or I could have got it cheaper if I'd just gone to Currys and bought a PC straight off the shelf. But if you want to get a custom one and you want it put together for you, it's not a bad price at all. Roman Bush says, I only paid $400 for the one I built. I literally just said, I know it's cheaper to build it yourself. I know that it would have been cheaper to build the computer myself, but I didn't want to build it myself, so I spent the extra money for someone else to build it for me. I don't get what's not clicking here. If you want to build a computer yourself, build a computer yourself. If you don't want to build a computer yourself, then pay extra to get someone else to build it for you, which is what I did. The internet is full of experts. Unfortunately, Welsh TikToker, yes, the internet is full of people who believe themselves to be experts. The thing is as well, like, it's only a scam if you don't get what you paid for, right? Like, I knew exactly what I was getting. I paid that price, and I knew exactly what specs I was getting. It's not like I paid for a super ultra powerful NASA PC and they sent me some piece of shit. I know exactly what I paid for, so it's not a scam. It's only a scam if you are not aware of what you're actually getting. Like, I knew what I was getting, I knew how much it was going to cost, and I chose to pay that price. So that's not a scam. Is it more expensive than building it yourself? Yes. Have I already said that I know it's more expensive than building it yourself? Also yes. What's your wheel, says Rowan Bush. The wheel is the Logitech G heavy equipment wheel. Which I got for £230 with the side panel from Logitech. It's so laggy, says I love trans BMW. That is because of the head tracker, unfortunately. The head tracker does contribute quite a bit to the lag in this game. We have played this game quite a lot without the head tracker, and it never lags as badly as this, so it's obviously the head tracker that's causing the problems. But it's free software, I'm not going to complain. How do you set up the head tracker, says Jennifer? So the software is called OpenTrack. It's free to download. You do need a webcam, it works off a webcam. But if you've got a spare webcam, just download OpenTrack for free, and it's very easy to set up, very simple process. Fella, you don't know. I don't care, Louis. I actually don't care whether you think I know much about PCs or not. Did you, right, let me ask you a question, Louis. Did you buy the PC? Did you spend £1,000 on a PC? Is it your computer? No. Then it doesn't really matter at all. It doesn't matter if I paid £500 million for the PC. I paid for it, not you. So it doesn't fucking matter what you think. If you don't want to spend £1,000 on a PC, don't spend £1,000 on a PC. I did want to, so I did. Hi Saul, what's up? I'm alright, Charlie, how are you doing? Okay, Louis, I'm going to block you now because you're asking too many stupid questions. Why did I choose a 2070? Because I wanted a 2070. Just shut the fuck up, seriously. Like, why do you care this much about the PC that I bought? It doesn't affect you at all. You're doing my head in, man. He's asked a question, he asked the question 50 fucking times! You ask the question once, you get the answer, you don't ask the question again. The question only needed to be answered one time. Oh. Oh dear. There's always someone. As much as I love streaming, and as much as we get so many lovely comments and so many lovely interactions with people, there's always someone who just has to be as much of an idiot as they possibly can. There always has to be someone who can't just let me enjoy myself, and has to spoil it for everyone. Loving the stream. Thanks, Dagger. We can always count on Dagger to love the stream. Why are you mad? I just joined, says Max. So the reason I'm mad, Max, I'm not that mad, but the reason I was getting a little bit pissed off is because there was a guy commenting on my PC, and he was just constantly spamming, like, you've been ripped off, you've been ripped off, you've been ripped off. Like, okay, I don't care. I don't care whether you think that I've been ripped off. It's my computer. I spent the money on it. I don't care whether you think I was ripped off or not. But he just kept spamming it over and over again. And I've said before, I don't mind negative comments. I get plenty of negative comments. But what I do mind is spam. That's when it gets annoying, when they just leave the same comment over and over and over again, you know? That steering wheel is kind of crap, says Ruben. I'm aware of the crap steering wheel, Ruben. I'm aware the steering wheel is not very good. I've had this steering wheel for over 3 years. It's the very first steering wheel I've ever bought, and I am looking to upgrade it quite soon. I do want to get a new one, because this has seen better days. It's, you know, had quite a lot of wear and tear. So I'm aware that the steering wheel is not in tip-top condition. Is that wheel homemade? It's not homemade, no. It's the Logitech G heavy equipment wheel. Which I got as a bundle with this wonderful side panel here as well. Have to say as well, the side panel, which I've also had for 3 years, is like new. The wheel has seen better days, but the panel, can't fault it. Absolutely perfect. What does the side panel do, says Danny? Lots of stuff, Danny. So it controls the windscreen wipers. There we go, we got some buttons there for the windscreen wipers. We got some buttons for the windows, the left and right windows. The stick here does the indicator. We've got buttons for the lift axle, you know, connecting the trailer, starting the engine, all sorts of stuff. All of the buttons do various different things. Oh, hang on, I've accidentally left the windscreen wipers on there. Your setup, your choice, says LeChap. Thank you, LeChap. Play Minecraft, says Nick. Not today, Nick. Next Minecraft stream will be on Monday. What games do you play, says Charlie? At the minute, Charlie, my current schedule is Minecraft on a Monday, Euro Truck on Tuesday, and Farming Sim on Friday. However, I do have a bit of an announcement to make at the end of the stream because my schedule is going to be changing in August. Don't panic. None of the games are going away. I'm still going to be playing Minecraft, Euro Truck, and Farming Sim. But I'm going to be changing the schedule a little bit to allow me to do some other games as well. And I'll tell you more about that at the end. It's 5 to 6, by the way, so I think it's safe to say we're going to be running over a little bit today. I think we'll get to our next rest stop, which is just between Zagreb and Belgrade, and I think we'll leave it there for today. We won't get all the way to Turkey. But I'm not too mad about it. We've had a pretty good stream. Do you drive in real life? I don't, Charlie, no. Is that game Truck Simulator 25 Euro Driver? Just checking. Nope, this is Euro Truck Simulator 2. How are you moving your camera, says JH? I'm using a head tracker called OpenTrack, which works off a webcam. I've got a webcam just in front of me there. And it allows me to look around inside the cab. Still have to use thumbsticks outside the cab to look around, but inside the cab we use the head tracker. Thank you for following. I follow the most people. Do you really? Is it on PS5? It isn't Forza Horizon, sorry. It's PC only, this game. Thanks for following JH, and what? Do I need fuel, actually? I think we're alright for fuel. See you later, Forza Horizon. Thanks for joining. It's gone a bit quiet all of a sudden. The chat's died. Are you still there, chat? Are you still with us? Apparently not. No, says Aaron. No, they've all gone. I'm just in the background, says the chap. Fair enough. Fair enough. Lurkers welcome. You don't have to chat. You can just watch. That's fine too. What pedals do you have? Says Cameron. I've got the pedals that came with the steering wheel, so they're very cheap, and there's only brake and accelerate. But I am looking to get a clutch pedal at some point as well, probably when I upgrade the steering wheel. I'll tell you what. Let's do an ask the audience. This normally helps when the chat gets a bit quiet. Where's everyone watching from today? Let us know if you're viewing from wherever you are in the world. Don't be too specific. You know, don't dox yourself or anything. But you know, whereabouts are you viewing from today? Wales, England, Doncaster says what? I'm in Doncaster. What? I live in Doncaster. UK, Wales. Wales says ink. Nice one, ink. You back on my For You page? I am, Tyler. How are you doing? Ipswich says Unmarked Vale. Nice one. Oliver Mapp says 28 Lichfield Close, Essex, EX1, 7AP, green bin outside. Does that mean you're watching from the green bin, Oliver? Are you in the green bin at 28 Lichfield Close? Scotland, says Tyler. Nice one. Accrington, says Aaron. Kent, says Edmonds, of course. Oliver said, no, I'm in the black bin, but I didn't want to be too specific. Oh, no, yeah, wouldn't want to dox yourself. Definitely in the green bin, not the black bin. Wrexham, nice one. You've been on my For You page loads. Nice one, Jack. Glad to hear it. Have you camped at the Lake District? Says Draydog. I've never been to the Lake District, actually, Draydog. Thanks for following, Joe. Oliver's green bin, says R. Merritt. Okay, Oliver, your next door neighbour's here on the stream. You're in the black bin. They're in the green bin. AI, says AC. I can assure you I 100% am not an AI, AC. I am a real human person. Although, to be fair, isn't that exactly what an AI would say? You know, you'll never know for sure. Where are you going on game, says Cody. We're heading towards Turkey at the minute, but we're not going to get there today because it's already 6 o'clock. We're currently just about to cross into Croatia. I don't want to offend you, so I say this in the nicest way possible, but are you transgender? I am transgender, yes. Shit, it's the Peak District you've been to? It is, yes. I've never been camping in the Peak District either, by the way. I've only been camping once, and that was in Bridlington. And I've never been camping since. And that I was like 12 as well. Thanks for following R. Merit. How are we doing for fuel and sleep? 3 hours till we need to sleep. 5 hours from the checkpoint, though. How is that possible? Okay, we might have to mark in an earlier checkpoint then. Is there another one? There's this one here. But that's still 4 hours away. We could make that. We might have to put our foot down a bit, but we could make that. So that'll be our next rest point. 4 hours, 13 minutes. Thanks for following Jack211211 and also Jack12. Okay, we're now crossing into... We're not crossing into Croatia, are we? We're going into Slovenia. Slovenia? Slovenia. Yes, this is Slovenia. I always get Slovenia and Slovakia mixed up, even though they're nowhere near each other, just because they've got similar names. This is Slovenia. We're in Slovenia, but we're also going to be crossing into Croatia in just a moment. No, wait. Yeah. Yes, this is Slovenia. This tiny little strip here is Slovenia. Now we're about to cross into Croatia now. This is the checkpoint to get into Croatia. Okay. Can you only play this game on a wheel, says Cody? No, you can play this game with keyboard and mouse or with a controller. as Harry says, you can play this game with anything. The controls are fully mappable. You could play this with a flight simulator stick if you wanted to. Genuinely, you could play this with any controller because the buttons are all fully mappable. But I would say the best experience is with a wheel. I love Euro Truck Sim. I was playing it yesterday. Nice one, Harry. Glad to have you here. What's your favourite truck, says Jack? This is my favourite truck, Jack. The Scania Streamline R730. I absolutely love it. This is the only truck that I've used since starting my live streams. So I've driven this truck in every single Euro Truck stream that we've done. And we've done about 30 of them, I reckon, at this point. Whereabouts from, says Alfie. I am originally from Harrogate in North Yorkshire. I now live in Doncaster in South Yorkshire, and I've lived here most of my life. Where do you plan on doing walking videos, or are you sticking to the Peak District, says Draydog? I'm going to stick to the Peak District for now, Draydog, because there's still quite a few places in the Peak District that I want to go to. This year I've got at least 2 more walks planned. I want to do Froggatt Edge in Grindleford, and I'd also like to do Kinder Scout, because I've never actually done Kinder Scout before. Kinder Scout is the highest point in the Peak District. So those are the 2 walks that I've got planned for this year. But there's loads of other places in the Peak District I want to do as well. I want to go to Buxton. I want to do the Monsall Trail. I want to go up to the very north of the Peak District near Penistone and do the Woodhead Trail. There's a lot of options. And I think what I really want to show with the Peak District videos is that there's so much potential there. There's so much history and so many places that you can go. Like, I could literally go to the exact same... like, I could go to Stanage Edge, which I've already been to, and I could do another video and not mention any of the stuff from the first video. You know what I mean? Like, I could go to a place that I've already been and make a completely different video, because there's just that much history and that much information to share. And I really want to get that across in my videos in the Peak District. Which is why I've been focusing on that specific area at the moment. Because what I really want to show is, like, no matter where you live, there's always somewhere just on your doorstep that's so full of history and so full of nature. And I'm sure the Lake District is lovely, but the fact that the Peak District is right on my doorstep, the fact that I could go to the Peak District every single day and I could do a different walk every single time is so incredible. And like I say, I really want to get that across in my videos, that no matter where you live, there's infinite potential for places that you can explore and places that you can visit. Does your wheel have force feedback, says Dylan? This one doesn't, Dylan. No. Very cheap wheel. But I would like to update to a force feedback one at some point. What's your favourite band, says Harry? My favourite band is probably the Beatles. My favourite solo artist is Billy Joel. Big fan of Billy Joel. Quite old, you know. I'm not really too into newer music. I get a lot of my music taste from my dad and my granddad. My granddad was a huge country fan. He loved Johnny Cash and Dolly Parton and loads of other country singers. So I have quite a taste for that as well because of that. Like I say, I think I inherit a lot of my music taste from my parents and grandparents, so a lot of it is a bit older and a bit more unusual. Like, you might not think that I'd be interested in country music, but because my granddad was, I am, you know? But yeah, I'd say my favourite band's probably the Beatles. I love the Beatles. I'm working on a Beatles song at the minute for my next piano video. But in terms of solo artists, big fan of Billy Joel. Stream going well today, says Charlie. It has, Charlie. It's been a very good stream. Mine is 21 pilots because I find them relatable with my situation. My uncle likes Johnny Cash, says Harry. Yeah, like I say, my granddad, big Johnny Cash fan. He actually had Ring of Fire played at his cremation, which is very him. It's very very much his style of humour. But he specifically requested to have Ring of Fire played at his cremation, and it was. Rest in peace, Grandad. Kind of went hard seeing you go through the curtains with Johnny Cash, you know, with Ring of Fire playing, literally as you went into the flames. What a way to go out. Respect to Grandad for that. What game is this? Euro Truck Simulator 2. Okay, we must be near the rest stop, because we're 10 minutes over at this point. 2 hours, 45 minutes. Okay, we're going to get to this rest stop, and that is where we're going to call it for today. We're not going to get all the way to Turkey, unfortunately, but it is what it is. It was quite an ambitious drive, to be fair. Quite an ambitious job to take. What's going on for dinner? Says Charlie. I'm not sure today, Charlie. Excuse me. It's quite warm again now, though, so maybe something quick and easy. Something pasta-based. Where can you get the game and how much is it? Says Danny. The game is on Steam and it costs £13.50, I believe. But it is on sale quite frequently, so if you don't want to pay that, just hang around for when it's on sale. It normally costs about £4 when it's on sale. Why are you ignoring me? Says the Jack Leader. That is literally the first comment I've seen from you, Jack Leader. Euro Truck's actually on sale right now, says Harry. Ah, well, if that's the case, you can pick it up for about £4. Evening, where are you going and what are you delivering, says Wayne. We're heading towards Ferizli in Turkey, and we're carrying 16 tons of shock absorbers. Quick question, how is your head moving in the game, says P. I'm using a head tracker, P. It's called Open Track. It works off a webcam, so there's a webcam in front of me looking towards me, which tracks my head movements, and that's how I look around. Why don't you actually drive a truck and get paid? Don't want to. Why are you ignoring me, says Pooh. Because the only thing you've commented so far is look at the state of it. Like, what? How do I respond to that, apart from shrugging my shoulders? But why play the game? Because it's fun. Like I said earlier, plenty of people play Call of Duty, but they don't serve in the armed forces. Plenty of people play Flight Simulator, but they don't fly planes. People are allowed to play games and not do the thing that the game is about in real life. Keep up the content, says Rag3. Thank you, Rag3. I will. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I absolutely love what I do here on TikTok, and I will continue doing it. Good drive, says Honda J. Thank you, Honda J. Have you tried games like Mudrunner, says the lovable Stoner? I love Mudrunner, Stoner. We have played Mudrunner and Snowrunner a little bit on stream before. And I really want to play their newest game, Roadcraft, as well. We'll probably play that on stream at some point. But love the Spin Tires series, Mudrunner, Snowrunner, everything. Really great. Is the camera built into your headphones when you look in a different direction? No, the camera is a webcam. So I've got a webcam looking straight at me. And I'm using a head tracking software to monitor that. Next week I'll do your treasure box. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you. Would love to see you play those, says the Lovable Stoner. Like I say, I really do want to do Roadcraft, because it looks really cool and I haven't tried it yet. And I'd like to play more SnowRunner as well. Like I say, we did a SnowRunner stream. We did a couple of SnowRunner streams last year, which went down quite well. And I absolutely love the game. So it would be great to bring those back. What wheel is that? The wheel is the Logitech G Heavy Equipment wheel. Thanks for following, by the way, Lovable Stoner. And Psycho Wish. I have Roadcraft, it's a quality game, said Edmonds. I've heard good things about it, yeah. I mean, I've heard bad things about it as well, but, you know, that's kind of to be expected when a new game comes out. There's always some people who will complain about it. Sometimes a game's just not for you, right? I think people don't like to admit that they bought a game that they're just not interested in, so they have to completely rip it apart. Like, this game's terrible, I hate it, it's stupid, I wasted my money. Like, some people don't like to admit that they just bought a game that they didn't enjoy. Sometimes you buy a game and you don't enjoy it as much as you thought you would. You know, that doesn't necessarily make it a bad game. It just means it wasn't for you, you know? I've bought games that I didn't enjoy, you know? It happens. Sometimes you think you're going to enjoy a game and you don't, and that's okay. It can be annoying when you've spent money on it, but, you know, shit happens. Whoa, what are you doing? Wait. Right. That was a completely inappropriate time for you to change lanes. What the hell was that about? I'm pretty sure he didn't even indicate either. I mean, he indicated at the exact moment that he started to turn. But he didn't indicate before he turned, so there was no way of knowing that he was about to turn. Okay, we are overtired now. And we're still an hour away from the checkpoint, so I think we're going to have to floor it a little bit so we don't fall asleep at the wheel. Sorry in advance. We're going to do some dangerous driving. P says, ever dropped your debit card underneath your car at a pay checkpoint and had to get the huge line of cars behind you all to reverse back to retrieve it? I haven't, P, funnily enough. I haven't. I think that's a unique experience. Put your foot down. I've got my foot down, Edmonds. Don't worry, my foot is down right now. Overtake if you have to. You'd best believe we're doing some overtaking, Dre Dog. There will be some overtaking involved. I say that, but there's literally no cars. They've all just suddenly disappeared. Oh shit, toll booth. Of course there's toll booths to slow us down as well. Okay, that was a close one. Are you drunk? Drive between the lines, says Kai. What part of dangerous driving did you not understand, Kai? I mean, I drive dangerously even when I'm not trying to drive dangerously. But right now, I'm deliberately driving dangerously, so it's even more dangerous than when I'm accidentally driving dangerously. A bit more intense than Farming Sim, which do you prefer, says Jake. I actually prefer this game. I don't find it too intense. I mean, it is at this particular moment. But I find this game a lot more relaxing than Farming Sim, because with Farming Sim, you know, you've got a million different things to keep an eye on, you know, monitoring the welfare of your animals and the upkeep of your vehicles and, you know, the crop status, you know, planting, harvesting. There's so many variables with Farming Sim, whereas with this, you're literally just driving. So I do think this is a bit more relaxing. like I say, right now I'm driving as fast as I possibly can because we're in a bit of a rush. So that notwithstanding, okay, I'm going to hard shoulder it. Okay, shit. Oh, that was a bad idea. I shouldn't have done that. Okay. Slight collision there. I've damaged the cargo as well, so now we're going to get a penalty. Great. But on the plus side, we are at the rest stop, so we can sleep at least. Oh dear. I mean, it was bound to happen. You run the risk. That's what happens. You drive dangerously. You have collisions. 1% damage, so we will get a bit of a penalty for that. Unfortunately, we have damaged some of the shock absorbers, although they are shock absorbers. Is it not literally their job to withstand impacts? You know, I mean, they can't be very good shock absorbers if they get damaged by a little accident like that, right? Are you vegan, says Clark. I'm not, Clark, no. I don't have any dietary preferences. Okay, here we go. We'll sleep here. This is where we're going to leave it for today as well. Just make sure the truck's lined up properly. Okay, we sustained a little bit of damage. We've got 11% damage to the truck, 3% damage to the trailer, and unfortunately 1% damage to the cargo, which means we will have to pay a penalty when we actually get to the destination. Wait, why is it not sleeping right now? I'm here, I'm at the rest stop. Yeah, I'm here. There we go, thank you. But that is where we're going to have to leave it today. It's not been a bad little drive. We didn't get all the way to Turkey, but we can save that for next time. And I do have more to say about the next stream, so do stick around for an announcement regarding the future of this series. That sounds a bit more ominous than it is. Don't worry, I'm not ending the series or anything. But I do have an announcement to make. Okay, there we go. We'll quit to desktop. That's going to be it for today. Don't go away, though. Announcements time. I'm going to switch over to the big camera and wrap things up. Okay. Oh. Okay. So, thanks for joining, everyone. Good stream. Very good stream. To say we started an hour later than usual, it still turned out pretty good. We got almost 50 followers today, which is not bad for a delayed stream. I've very much enjoyed it. We didn't quite finish our job. We didn't quite get all the way to Turkey, but we did get about 2/3 of the way, I'd say. So we'll continue that not next week, because here's the announcement time. Okay, I do want to make something perfectly clear. Euro Truck is not going away. None of the series that I currently work on are going away. However, they will be slightly less frequent in future, because in August I'm going to be moving to a 2-week schedule. So if you're new around here, at the end of last year we did a bit of a trial run of this. We did a 2-week schedule where basically I play each game once a fortnight instead of once a week, which allows me to get more games in, as it were. So We are going to be doing that going forward. I'm going to be doing that again in August for the simple reason that there's lots of other games that I want to play that we haven't had a chance to play for a while. I want to get back into Factorio. I want to get back into Train Simulator. And unfortunately, I just don't have time to play those games when we're doing Minecraft, Euro Truck, and Farming Sim every single week, right? So the plan is, starting in August, starting from next week, we are going to be doing Minecraft, Farming Sim, and Oddworld Abe's Odyssey. So I'm going to be doing Minecraft Monday, Farm Sim Friday, and Sci-Fi Sunday on one week. And then on the second week, we're going to be doing Euro Truck on Tuesday, Factorio on Thursday, and Train Sim on Saturday. So that is going to be the schedule going forward. It does mean that next week there won't be a Euro Truck stream, but then the week after there will be. So like I say, the schedule is going to be Minecraft Monday, Farm Sim Friday, Sci-Fi Sunday on the first week, and then Trucking Tuesday, Factorio Thursday, and Train Sim Saturday on the second week, and we'll repeat that cycle. So what this basically means is I will be playing twice as many games, but I'll be playing each game half as often. And again, that'll allow me to play twice as many games, but still do the same number of live streams each week. So I'll still be doing 3 streams a week, you know? So it's a bit of a trade-off. I know not everyone's going to be happy with it. People weren't happy with it before. I know it's a little bit, it's a little bit disappointing that you now have to wait 2 weeks between Trucking Tuesday, for example. You have to wait 2 weeks between each Minecraft stream. But again, it just allows me to play more games. So we'll be playing twice as many games, but we'll be playing each game once every 2 weeks instead of once a week. That's the plan. Again, it means there's going to be no Euro Truck next week, but there will be Farming Sim, Minecraft, and Oddworld Abe's Odyssey on Sunday. There's also going to be a special one-off stream next week because I'm getting a new spider. If you are interested in my spider-related content, I've got a new jumping spider on the way, Phidippus nikites. It should be arriving next week, so I'll be doing a spider unboxing stream as well. That'll be a special one-off live stream. But apart from that, that is going to be the schedule going forward. It might take a little bit of getting used to, but you'll get into the stride of it. I'm scared of spiders, said Edmonds. You might want to avoid that particular live stream then, Edmonds. But yes, if you are interested in spiders, do come along to that stream. It'll probably be next Wednesday. I'm not 100% sure. It depends when the spider arrives. But obviously, it's the kind of thing where you kind of have to do the live stream on the day that it gets here, because I can't just leave it overnight. You know, I've got to get the enclosure set up straight away. So as soon as the spider arrives, we will be doing a spider stream. If it's any consolation, it's a very, very tiny spider as well. Even smaller than the previous spiders that I've kept. So if you are interested in seeing my new spider, that stream's going to be next week. I think that's pretty much everything announcement-wise. So I do just want to say, you know, if you have enjoyed but you haven't already followed, please do. We're at 7,090 followers right now, so thank you very much everyone who has followed today. If you want to support me at any of the places below, just click the link in my bio and it'll take you to them. You can watch me on YouTube if you want to see the live streams over there in landscape mode. Go and subscribe over there. If you want to join the Discord and chat to me outside of the live streams, you can do that as well. If you want to follow me on Instagram and Blue Sky, I do occasionally post there, but not very regularly. You can follow there if you're interested. And of course, last but not least, if you would like to support me financially, please do consider checking out the Patreon. We have a whopping 8 names on the board today. We've got some new Patreon members, so thank you to Kate, Sophie, Jess, Danny, Riley, P, Charlie, and Dan. That is 8 names on the board. This is the most names we've ever had on the board. Thank you so much, everyone, for supporting me over there. I'm very grateful. It's so much appreciated. And thank you for those of you who are watching the stream right now. Dan, I know you're here right now, and Charlie as well. And I think P is still here too. So thank you, everyone, for supporting me over there. If you want to get your name on this board, head over to the link in my bio. That'll take you to Linktree, and then you just click on Patreon. You go through to the Patreon. It costs £1 a month. That is 100 English pence per month. You get your name on the board, you get a VIP status in the Discord server, and you get access to the behind-the-scenes content like uncut footage, outtakes, making of videos, early access videos, that kind of stuff. So there's a few nice little benefits, and like I say, it only costs £1 a month. So if you want your name on there, check the link in my bio. And thank you again to Kate, Sophie, Jess, Danny, Riley P, Charlie, and Dan for supporting me over there. That is going to be it for today's stream. I'm going to leave it here. Next stream will be Farming Simulator on Friday, so do come along for that if you're interested. I'm looking forward to it. You know I'm loving the Farming Sim streams at the minute, and they're very popular as well, so I look forward to another wonderful farming stream this Friday. But that is going to be where we leave it for today. Love you, says Ted. Thanks, Ted. I'm flattered. That's going to be it for today. I'm going to get off right now. Thank you very, very much for joining me. Hope you have a great rest of your evening, and I will see you all on Friday for Farming Simulator. Bye-bye. Lewis says, oh, I just joined. Sorry, Lewis. Them's the breaks. I'll see you next time. And bye-bye everyone over on YouTube as well. Thank you very, very much for watching. I think we may have actually hit 160 followers, 160 subscribers on YouTube. I'm just going to go and check right now. Let's find out. We are 160 exactly, so thank you very much for 160 subscribers over on YouTube. Again, very much appreciated. I will see you on Friday for Farming Sim. And also, just as a heads up, the spider stream will be TikTok only. So you will need to be following me on TikTok if you want to watch the spider live stream. Or you can watch it after it's been live on YouTube. That's it. I'm going to go now. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.